Wait, we just had a problem with the audio, and just go
Yes,
again.
I was going to say that. Today, I would like to appeal to all Indian football fans with folded hands. Speak up.
Seeing monsters out your window.
You have passion? Yes, sir. You will do hard work? Yes, sir. Will you have more effort than them? Yes, sir. Then you will win this match.
The referees we hate, we get those referees. The match commissioners we hate, we get those match commissioners. The timings and our travel, everything is. Another rule which is very, very strange is that no Indians can be head coaches of any ISL team. So that's being racist towards Indians in India. You will do your own branding to you. Whatever you believe in yourself, you can do.
You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you tell me you learn, when the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear I'm gonna break the ivory. I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your only.
So welcome back, one and all, to Netflix football, and it's a thrill couple of days because just a few days back I hosted Mr. Stephen Taylor, former Premier League player of Newcastle United, and today with me I have someone who just refuses to ever give up. Like, you all know my story, right? That I started this channel after a lot of hardships in the pandemic and lots of that, and I refuse to give up, and I just bloody refuse to give up. I don't believe in giving up. And with me today, guys, the well-known, the one and only Mr. Ranjit Bajaj. Yes, let's bring him on screen, guys. Ranjit sir, so how are you doing? How are you feeling? And welcome to Netflix football.
Hi, Neil. It's so awesome to be here, man, on the podcast with Neil and Netflix football. Brilliant. And talking tactics as usual. Brilliant, man. It's great. And to start it off, that means the way you didn't give up, and that's probably like taking a page out of my book as well. That means the same here, man. We're on the same page. Never give up. And as long as you don't give up, you are still in the race. That means you're still winning. You only lose when you give up. You don't lose till then. That means you're still trying. There's no final thing, and that's what life is all about. Brilliant. But today is a very brilliant day to be here because what you started off, I mean, you made a little promo and I really liked it. But I didn't know that promo was going to come more true than today. In fact, 2 minutes ago, the match between Mumbai and Northeast has ended. Khalid Jamil, who was the interim coach because the foreigner was fired, was the coach, and he's had 3 wins in the trot. Today he's beaten the team top of the table, which is far above in this ISL, which is far above everyone else. And they should have been 3 up within 30 minutes, the way they played. So I've been saying it from day one that Indians are as good, if not better, than foreigners. But unless you give them a chance, they'll never be able to prove themselves. So by chance, this mauka आया था, और मौका उसने हाथ से छोड़ा नहीं Khalid ने. So it's great. Hats off to him. In fact, it was great playing against him in the I-League. Always had a tough match, and I knew that with the kind of, people keep on talking about their Northeast is doing very well offensively. He is a very defensive-minded coach. So what he gets right is his defense. He makes sure his defense is solid and they are in formation and they're in shape all the time. Even in quick transitions from here to here, you'll see the back four coming back to the line very, very quickly. And if you have that, and then your middle line, that means your midfielders also come up and become 2 lines. Then there's no space between. So what Mumbai City didn't have today for the midfielders and for the strikers, which they have great people, they didn't have any space. The Northeast didn't give them any space. So when you say Northeast didn't give them any space, it wasn't just because of pressing. It was because when they were defending, Northeast was defending, they were like this between the 3 lines.
Total compactness of space, and modern football is all about transition, isn't it, Mr. Bajaj? But before we go into the more derivatives of football, we just want to let our viewers know more about you. So as the promo suggested, I had watched a couple of your videos, motivational, where you went and spoke, and truly inspiring. Like, I have never given up in my life, especially when the chips were down, especially then. And I just reverberating through your words that when I was in that situation, how tough times, and if someone of your stature, and YouTube was not that famous at this social media age when I was younger. So this opportunity has been ethereal. But more about you right now, because I've heard that you've been on Roadies season 1. You're a public speaker, you're a motivation enthusiast, and you're, as always, it's scripted, determination of never giving up. So let us just hear about some instances from your Roadies venture.
Oh, see, the first Roadies was not only a first adventure show. It was India's first reality show. Nobody even heard of a reality show. So, hi Kumar. So what happened was that we went there because we were going to find that the prize was a bike. That's the reason I went there. Ki prize milega bike. And the other thing was that they were going to pay for my holiday from Chennai to Chel, 4,400 kilometers and 40 days on a bike. I came to know in that show, Sare Jahan Se Acha, Hindustan Hamara. I had been to 3. So sad that, you know, we Indians don't know that. I mean, we keep on trying to go for holidays. Holiday mauka mila yaar, bahar jana, bahar Thailand chalte hain yaar, Sri Lanka chalte hain yaar. Even though we have little money, with the same money we can go abroad. We'd rather go abroad than see our own country. Dubai chalte hain yaar. You know, same paise lagenge yaar Mumbai ya yahan jane se. But they don't realize that our country, Sare Jahan Se Acha isliye hai because we are as beautiful, if not more. In one country, we have everything which 4 continents can give you. So Chennai to Chel was a beautiful journey. It was great. In fact, I completed the show along with Ranvijay. Ranvijay was a contestant on that show. Yes. That's why now Ranvijay is very close to me. In fact, he was a founder member of my Minerva Academy Football Club. And it was a dream we started together. He's still very close to me. And in fact, why? Because his parents, I mean, his father was in the army, Lieutenant General. His grandfather was in the army. His chacha was also in the army. And his father and his chacha both are from Minerva Academy as students of the armed forces. So that's another connection I had. It was a really great experience. But I was also, you know, given an opportunity that, you know, you want to go to Mumbai after the Roadies, everybody gets an opportunity to go to Mumbai, you know, be an intern somewhere and, you know, you'll get a chance as a VJ or something like that, you know, be into movies or serials or whatever. Yeah. I had never any intention of going there because I don't feel that this true justice to what I can achieve and I can do in life. In fact, that I don't take very kindly because I don't think I'm making sure that I am the best I can be every single day. I have to be better than what I was yesterday on a daily basis till the day I die. Because, and when I say till the day I die, because if I am 60 and I stop being better than yesterday, I'm as good as dead.
It's pretty inspiring on your facts of being through Roadies and how you've always been.
Bro, it's actually on Voot. So I ask all the fans to go and have a look at it. It's season 1. It's on Voot. And you'll see that I don't think I've changed much in the attitude wise or in facing things head on or in all the tasks. So I think I did really, really well in all the tasks. And that was all. That's what it was for me. Adventure reality. So great.
You still look the same, sir. You still look the part.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, so let's just divulge more on your dream. As you said, Minerva Punjab. So a question that we have got from one of our followers is that it's Shovik. Shovik's question is that you eventually went on to sell Minerva Punjabs. Can we have some limelight into that, sir?
So no, I didn't sell Minerva Punjab. I sold Punjab FC. Big difference. Minerva Academy Football Club was what we formed. And last year, before the I-League started, we made a very public announcement that we are changing the name from Minerva Punjab FC to Punjab FC. It was very public. And Punjab FC was then sold because basically what I sold was the entry to the I-League. So Round Glass got a direct entry into the I-League instead of basically fighting for it from second division, winning it, I-League winning it, I mean getting up to the top from the state leagues. So they got a direct entry. And Minerva Academy is basically our academy, which is going to be producing India's finest for the rest of my life till I die. That is never going to shut down. It can never be sold. No one has the money. Even Ambani, say Lakers, Bill Gates doesn't have the money to buy that because that's a dream. You can't buy a dream. Dream is that we have to get India not to the World Cup. We have to make India win the World Cup. See, I don't like talking about participating in World Cups. There's no point of participating. See, if you're good enough to get there, you're good enough to win it. The difference between the level of the 32 teams is this much, not this much. So stop looking at yourself in the last 4 all the time. So if you've got that dream, imagine if we have that dream, then we'll probably get to the World Cup. If our dream is to get to the World Cup, we will never get to the World Cup.
If you aim, it's common knowledge that if you aim for the stars, at least you land on the moon. Absolutely.
Exactly. You aim for the top of the tree, you'll be stuck in the tree somewhere. Exactly.
Okay, so few ISL related questions. We have heard about your opinions on ISL. We just add a few mixes to that. So thoughts, first of all, there are 2 parts to this question, like the thoughts on the merger between ATK and Mohun Bagan, and the story behind, there was a story that you had actually bid for taking the rights of East Bengal when Quest had actually gone. So what would you like to comment on this?
Okay, so the first thing about ATK Mohun Bagan, by the way, I love Mohun Bagan and I've always loved Mohun Bagan from day one. I've had a very special relationship with their fans. In fact, their fans...
Mohun Bagan fan here as well.
Oh, brilliant. So, hi Marina. So, joy Mohun Bagan. So, the point is that I don't think ever in this... I think Mohun Bagan has had a history of more than 100 years. I can guarantee you that no team owner has come there or a team opposition has come there and he's got a standing ovation from 40,000 people, except me. And not on any other. See, if Mohun Bagan fans love me, it's okay, and I go there, give me a standing ovation, it's okay for what I've done for the football and all. But on the day you are playing against us, and the top 2 teams in that league that time were what? Mohun Bagan and Minerva. Matlab ke direct competition hamare saath tha. Still I got that. That shows that Mohun Bagan fans are made of a different stuff altogether. So I will never forget that. I would rank that in my number 1 moment in my life personally. By the way, more than my I-League title. Because I-League title I won because of this. This I won the respect of over, I'm not kidding, over 40,000 fans and maybe millions more. They were doing that. So that means all of them do have a little bit of a soft spot and love for me. So it was great. So now, from the very beginning, when it was very, very hurt, being honest, the merger happening. Because my thing was, I did a lot of podcasts with a lot of Marina fan groups, where I made it very clear that I am totally against using ATK colors. I'm totally against using the tiger and all that bloody bullshit in the middle. We have to have the legacy. We have to have the club. I came into Indian football clubs, to play against Mohun Bagan East Bengal. The reason I said I want to play in the I-League is not because of anybody else. It's because of Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. The year Mohun Bagan and East Bengal went out of I-League and I came to know they are going out, Minerva is not there. Why? Because Minerva is also a legacy club, little bit different. We make our own legacy. But we can only make our legacy when we beat Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. Legacy is never made by beating Chennai or Indian Arrows or any or Real Kashmir or any other club. Even Iceball, even if they are champions of I-League, doesn't matter. History tab banti hai Mohun Bagan or East Bengal ko hara. Baat hi theek hai. So that is what I will tell my grandchildren. That I'm not going to tell them that I've beaten Indian Arrows or Chennai or Iceball, no disrespect again. But them, because that is what Indian football is all about. So I was out. And when they came to know that ATK Mohun Bagan, these people are, being great by letting us use the colors. They are letting us use the logo. And अगर उन्होंने नाम, I resigned to the fact कि चलो ठीक है ATK लगा लिया उन्होंने सामने. क्यों? Because sponsor है. जो हमारा McDowell भी sponsor होता था. तो वो भी नाम रखता था. अगले साल एक और आ जाता था. फिर उसके बाद एक और आ गया. उसके बाद एक और आ गया. हर साल sponsor change होता है. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. Mohun Bagan stays the same. So if they're wanting to bring their name because they put so much of money, no big deal. Let them get the publicity. No big deal. Right. But when it became a matter that it's not just a name, it's actually a club and club, then I have a problem because you can't put ATK and Mohun Bagan on the same level. In fact, I was never happy with this because you can't Indian football को develop करने आए हो, FSDL की बात कर रहा हूँ, उनके मुंह पे कह रहा हूँ. अगर Indian football को develop करने आए हो, ATK 3-time champion था. मतलब कि out of all the ISL clubs, it was the most successful ISL club.
Absolutely.
तो उनको merger की जरूरत नहीं है. तो आप उनको अलग क्लब बनाने दो. और गोयंका के पास तब भी इतने पैसे हैं, अगर हेल्प ही करना है ना, अगर हेल्प करना है, उसके पास अभी भी इतने पैसे हैं कि वो मोहन बगान को अलग हेल्प कर सकता है. और वहां पे CSC जो भी नाम लगाना लगा ले आगे स्पॉन्सर के नाम पे. बट व्हेन यू सी दैट why the fans were angry were because their legacy was being threatened, and from year one. And when the legacy is threatened, they don't care about anyone. Now, I don't understand how this deal could have happened with the Mohun Bagan management not asking the fans about it. See, asking the members about it is nothing. Why? Members are a few hundred or what, few thousand or whatever. You have to ask the fans about it, whether they want it or not. And by the way, both the fan groups are not happy. I'm same with ATK. If you actually put yourself in ATK's shoes, the fans they were, suppose, there's a new fan. Okay, respect. I don't like Mohun Bagan. I don't like East Bengal. I don't like Mohammedan Sporting. I want to support some other team. But I don't want to support a team from other state. I want to support a team from Bengal. So, kaun hai? ATK. So, I will support ATK. And then they used to have, while the ISL was going on, they used to have fights with Mohun Bagan and East Bengal fans. ATK is best, ATK is best. तुम उसके बाद 3 साल के बाद मोहन बगान फैंस वहां पे ले आए तो obviously ATK fans will feel really bad. Same way Mohun Bagan feels will be. I mean, why do you need to have a merger? You need to increase that team. And imagine if Mohun Bagan, East Bengal and ATK would have been there. There would have been 6 derbies available. 3 home, 3 away, 6 derbies. Those derbies would have given you enough TRPs, more than your entire ISL put together. They would have given more money than all the things put together, all the other ISL clubs, ticket sales put together. Because every time ATK plays Mohun Bagan full house, every time ATK plays East Bengal full house, every time East Bengal play Mohun Bagan full house. That's what I'm saying. This is what is football. You made stop saying things like, you can't have more than 2 teams from one city. So London mein to matlab Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Leicester, Fulham, all these, West Ham. You mean you don't have more than 2 teams? Manchester mein you can't have more than 2 teams. I mean, come on. So I think that there's still a chance that maybe they see sense and separate both the teams together. But if not, then Mohun Bagan has to be given its due. You can't say that, yes, you are a brand new club. Forget your 100+ year history, you're a brand new club. No, they are not a brand new club. And they are being made to feel like a brand new club by all the other fans. Why? Because that's what the records say now. And who's made the records? FSDL, ISL. They are the ones who are putting the records up. It's a brand new club. It's a brand new club. Why? Because it suits ATK to be a brand new club. Not the right way to go about it. And
so basically, is this the future for Indian legacy clubs from so-called football hotbeds in our country, in accordance with your statement?
Bro, I think that the future for all Indian football clubs was decided when AIFF sold out to FSDL. I'll give you an example. The corporate clubs mein kya hota hai? Corporate clubs mein, like for example, day before yesterday we saw Parth Jindal coming out and giving a statement.
Yes, that was one of my questions.
He knew that it was going to be the headline of the newspaper, and he's talking against Nita Ambani. That means, trust me, he's going out. Otherwise, these things don't come out. Now, if it's not sorted, if they sort it out is a big thing, but sorting it out means that giving money to all the clubs is not going to happen. So very soon. So I think, so not having ticket revenue, losing out on all this. And by the way, I'm going to talk about this again right now, before I even come to the East Bengal thing. Right. Now, see, when you have club corporate owners, they see things in a very business kind of way. He's just invested in the IPL.
Yes.
And in the IPL, he's doing very well. And people, jo 5 saal se, people didn't know him, no matter what he had done for Bengaluru FC. The #1 most professionally run club, kudos, title, yes, brilliant, awesome job he has done. But no one knew him in India other than the football fans. The moment he came into cricket, everyone in India knows him. Why? Because of cricket. And he's losing 25 crores a year. That means he can probably buy 2 or 3 or 4 Chris Gales in that. And he can make 10 times the amount of money than he's making here. And he will not get shit from Nita Ambani. Why? Because in the IPL, he's playing against her equal, Mumbai against Delhi. So, corporates ko jab mauka milega and they see it, they only see clubs as a business, commercial venture. If you think they will keep on losing money for 20 years, they will not. But East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have been losing money for over 100 years. There's never been a talk of shutting down because members come forward and give their own life savings. Ye lo, pay karo salary, khilao. So no legacy clubs can ever shut down. But if legacy clubs become like this and tomorrow you decide shut down, it will not, in Mohun Bagan will not shut down. They will separate themselves. they'll go on. But there's a danger of this happening. Out of the ISL clubs who started, कितने रह गए? 5 रह गए 10 में से. फिर उसमें से, by the way, there are some, I don't want to name the clubs because they sue me for 70 crores in. So there are 3 or 4 clubs who are still wanting to shut down because their losses are so much. They're trying to find owners right now. I mean buyers right now, and they're not getting buyers. So it's not sustainable what they're doing. And whereas if you give it to people like Passion, we will never shut our club down. We will make sure कि थोड़ा सस्ते में चला लें, but बंद नहीं करने की सोच सकते. So now, moment Minerva is there, I know how to get from the bottom to the top. So I made a very conscious decision. There's no East Bengal, there's no Mohun Bagan, there's no revenue, there's no sponsors, there's no crowd, there's no point, and there's no promotion. Main thing, there's no promotion. There's no point of playing in the I-League. After 3 years, when there's promotion and relegation, Minerva will be back as Delhi FC or as Tektro or as anyone. See, Tektro is going to be there. Delhi FC is going to be there. I mean, whichever team deserves, we can get there very easily. But I want to get there the right way. That means we started off as a small club, won the state league, won the second division, won the I-League, and I got there. Not by paying money. From day one, I've said, money does not win you titles. Otherwise, I would have had 0. So, for example, let me come to the second point of the thing. So we've got 7 national titles in juniors. And how many titles that ISL clubs have in juniors? 1. How many years? Last 5 years. So they were apparently we didn't know about this. They were getting 2 crores a year from bloody FSD and from Reliance to run their junior programs, each club. So that means I was fighting against 20 crores every year for 5 years. That means 100 crores. How much did I spend? Not more than 50 lakhs on my juniors every year. I didn't pay them anything. It was just khana pina rehna. And 50 lakhs into 10 years is 5 crores versus 100 crores. And no ISL team has ever beaten me in a junior match. Ever. Till today. Why? So money, you are giving so much of money and you think they're actually putting that money there? No, they're using it to buy foreign players or Indian players. They're just showing that they're spending it there on the juniors. Example, if they're developed in मैंने अगर suppose 3 साल में फिर 5 साल में आके 100 से ज़्यादा player produce कर दिए हैं, 70+ internationals have been produced with no money. How come with all the money they have invested, they have not been able to produce even 1/10, all 10 of them put together? They have not even been able to produce 10 internationals. Why? Because they're not here to develop football. FSD's job is not that. Their job is to make money. Now let me tell you, see, being honest with you, everywhere in the world, all football clubs make 90%, 80 to 70% of the money from broadcast revenue.
Yes.
That can never happen in India because the broadcaster owns the league. So there'll never be an auction, so then big money will never come in. Okay, tomorrow Reliance will realize this and probably get Star Sports out. There'll be big money coming in. But big money will go to who? Reliance. So if BCCI wali baat hoti na, IPL has become big, 5,000 crores. They have to distribute. Chalo 500 crore kha bhi lenge na, 4,500 crore they will have to distribute to all the state associations. That is why every district ground in cricket in India has a super stopper, which is worth 50-60 lakh rupees. That is why the grassroots are so great that we are not now asking that question. When is the next Tendulkar or Virat Kohli going to come? No one is asking that question now because our C team has gone and beaten Australia. Because we know it, we are sorted. Grassroots. They're spending money there. They're not paying Virat Kohli 2,000 crores. So what are these guys doing? They've been here now in Indian football for so many years and they say that we are the thing. How many centers of excellence have they developed? Youth centers. There's only one academy other than me, which is Bengaluru FC. Only Bengaluru FC. Which is doing proper work. That means all year round. Residential academy has to be all year round. And how many academies are there in India which are starting from the age of 5? If you want to be world standards, you need to start at 5. How many?
Yes.
Zero except mine. And now, from last year, because I have the dream of World Cup 2034 that we can come to later.
Yes.
Now coming to the East Bengal thing. Yes, bro, I have a very big love and hate relationship with East Bengal fans. So, but most of them have started to love me and I love them back. There's still some haters, but that doesn't matter. Again, I came into Indian football because of my respect for East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. And those are the people where I wanted every time when the I-League fixtures used to come out, I used to look at 3 matches, away wale, 2 away matches, and 1 match was Mohun Bagan East Bengal. आपस में जब खेलते थे, वो कब है? Derby और Mohun Bagan East Bengal away कब है? Do you know that we've never beaten Mohun Bagan and East Bengal at home? Because I didn't care about that. I wanted to always beat them away. And I have done that both. I've beaten Mohun Bagan, East Bengal and Mohammedan Sporting all away.
Yes.
Because that's what history is.
I-League winning campaign.
Yeah, yes. But that's what history is, right? That's what I made history by. That's the legacy. That is my legacy. And East Bengal was part of that. East Bengal, without Mohun Bagan, there's no East Bengal. And without East Bengal, there's no Mohun Bagan. Each of these two, being honest with you, these 2 clubs, each of them are left and right leg of Indian football, not just of this, of Indian football. That is why ISL was desperate. Let me use those words. Desperate to get these clubs. They tried. I was able to single-handedly, for the first time in the history of Indian football, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan came together. First time. Never before. I brought them together on the same table when Save I-League campaign started and we were fighting against FSDL. 7 club. 7 के फिर 6 रह गए, 5 रह गए, 4, 3, 2, फिर मैं कल्ला रह गया. So that I couldn't do anything. And I knew from the very beginning they're trying this. And I knew the moment they break one of them, the other one will have to break. It's not going to be their fault. Their fans will force them to do it.
They'll follow suit.
Mohun Bagan and ISL, Mohun Bagan and East Bengal in ISL. ISL is never going to be top league. Jitna marzi boli, your top league. It's not the top league. Why? Because there's no Mohun Bagan East Bengal. It can never be called the top league. And that's all they wanted to do. Once Mohun Bagan East Bengal are out, see, they tried to what they tried to do was, we'll kill I-League right now. So they gave us horrible coverage, horrible TV timings, horrible everything. But Mohun Bagan East Bengal was still playing, guys. So our TRP still kept on rising every year. With 2 p.m. matches, highest TRPs. With 4 p.m. matches in Kerala, 40,000 people watching. Same day, Kerala Blasters, only 4,000 people watching. So, whatever they tried was failing. And then they came to know that the only way is you get these 2 clubs out. These 2 clubs are out, everything is finished. But they don't realize that they're killing their own. They don't realize it now. And I've been saying it again and again. I hope they even realize it now. That they're killing their own ISL. Why? Because they're saying from 2025, there'll be promotion and relegation. Okay? So 2 clubs from ISL will go to I-League. Basically, you're sending them to their death because there's no broadcast, there is no revenue, there is no sponsor. And the level of football they'll be playing now of I-League, by the way, from last year to this year, the level of football is this much lower. Why? Nobody's spending any money at all in the I-League because there's no promotion. So the moment you have this kind of stuff happening, you will go to a lower league. They'll become weaker, not stronger, those 2 clubs. They'll never be able to come back again. और जो तुम I-League clubs को दो promote करोगे, they'll come from a very weak league. So they will never be able to last there without any proper marketing, broadcasting, everything. They'll be coming to a huge difference. So see the championship in England. In England, Division 1, any club on its given day can beat any club on top.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they're that good. And in India, all Indians know the name of every championship club because कभी ना कभी साले वो गए हुए हैं. वो 1 साल 2 साल लगा देते हैं प्रीमियर लीग में, उनके 10 साल के पैसे निकल आते हैं. Now in England, or in every league, जो broadcast revenue कमाती है top league, वो सारा नीचे तक share होता है. Even though second division, third division, fourth division got nothing to do with it, they still get money from it. That's why they're able to run. Why? Because the top league knows without the second division, we are not there. Second division knows without third division, we are not there. Third division knows without fourth division, we are not there. So you've got to support the state leagues. You've got to have every state having leagues. FSDL should have done it long time ago. Why? Because see, हमारे 130 करोड़ बोलते हैं बंदे नहीं है. Bengal, Punjab, Northeast, Goa, Maharashtra. This is, or maybe few Karnataka. This is the total population of our football. If there is, your state is not playing a football league, senior or junior, then you are not counted in the population. So 130 crore से तो पहले तो आधे ही हो गए because males, then बूढ़े बच्चे. तो total population 130 crore से हमारी football वाली रहेगी 20 crores, the ones who are going to be selecting from. उसमें से हमारे स्टेट में से कितनी रहेगी? 2 करोड़ जो खेलती हैं. उत्तर प्रदेश नहीं खेलता, मध्य प्रदेश नहीं खेलता. These huge states which have 50 crores population don't play. Jharkhand, Odisha, Bihar, You think players are not there? They are there. I opened up in Himachal. Look at the players I've got. In Delhi, we've got players. You go anywhere, you will get players. You give them an opportunity. Platform दोगे तो आपको हर जगह player मिलेंगे. Because if Iceland can do it with a population of 3 lakhs, जो हमारे दिवाली के मेले पे होते हैं, या दुर्गा पूजा पे 3 लाख पंडल पे होते हैं, so obviously we can do it. So East Bengal had a chance. They were going to get through, but what was happening was that Quest के वजह से there was a lot of bullshit happening, and I didn't like that they were in a stage where they could not find a buyer for them. So I said, listen, I can't get you into the ISL. Being honest with you, from very first day, I can buy the shares of Quest. And the moment you get somebody who can buy this club, he can buy it off me without any profit. I will, jitne ka main kharidunga, utne ka main bech dunga. So that Quest was, because we didn't have our football rights. East Bengal could not even play I-League or even Calcutta League they could not play. Why? Because the football rights were with Quest. And they didn't care. They were just waiting for the right offer. So I told them that I'm willing to buy. And they even agreed. They said, okay, fine. If you don't find a buyer, we'll sell it to you. So that's great that the whole point was tiding them over this time. Because East Bengal ka kuch ho jata, Indian football is dead. Same with Mohun Bagan. These are the two things which are keeping them alive. 100 saal se AIFF ne nahi jinda rakha. In dono clubs ne jinda rakha, along with Sporting Mohammed.
Very, very insightful. So I just have a few questions from the viewers over here. So I just read out one or two. So Jibagda has a question. So question from Mr. Bajaj. So how do you solve the revenue model issue for football in India? If it's only left to the sponsors, then Indian football will always remain at the mercy of the monies. Isn't?
Yes, bro. Exactly. Jibag Sahu is a brilliant question, and let me tell you the answer. The answer is sitting right in front of you. I have proven to the world that you don't need money to run an academy, world-class academy or world-class football club. There are only 4 clubs in India which are ranked by AFC. One is Minerva. Now, obviously taken over round class, but it was Mohun Bagan, Chennai, and Niceball and Minerva. They were the 4 clubs ranked by AFC. So I got in 5 years ago. I got in competing with the ISL clubs and I beat them all. Money was not required. So now what are you saying? What am I trying to tell you? See, unless you invest in your juniors, which I did, you will always be at the mercy of the monies or any sponsors. If you invest in your juniors, you don't need anyone because your juniors will get you there. My juniors are the ones who won me the senior title. मेरी academy से 90% लड़के आए थे, उन्होंने जिताया. और जो बाहर से भी लिए थे, एक मैंने बाहर नहीं किया मैं यूरोप वगैरह, एक भूटान से लिया था चेंचो, एक नेपाल से लिया था लिम्बू, because I don't consider nationalities. If they are good players, they're good players on the football pitch. So if he's the best player in Nepal, trust me, he's better than a foreigner. Because Sunil Chetri is better than a foreigner. Same way, Chencho is better than a foreigner. Same way that Jummal, who's playing for Mohammedan Sporting, is better than a foreigner. So don't look at the countries. That's why all this started, because I started that. And all the money which should have been spent in I-League, I spent it on my juniors. And that's why I'm the only club to have ever won the 13, 15, 18 and senior title in the same year. I won all titles because of that, because I invested in the juniors. And how did I keep alive revenue? जितने junior में आते थे, मैं उनको game time देता था, उसके बाद बेचता था मैं. जो मैं 4 player भी बेच देता था, that used to be good enough for me to run my next year's budget. That's how easy it is. Stop trying to buy players. Produce your players, sell them. And that is going to develop your country's football. Not by buying other players. Develop your own country's football. And Sudeva has proven it as well now. So has Hyderabad. That you can compete, or Arrows, you can compete with foreigners on an equal level. And you make your Indians that good, you just need to believe in them.
Believe. That's the key word, right?
99% of the battle is belief in yourself. 99% of the battle is just belief in yourself. If you believe in yourself, there is nothing you can't do. Everything is possible. As long as you work hard towards it, focus your goals, you will be there or somewhere near about. Just believe.
Absolutely. Inspiring words. Like, belief is what keeps us going. Like, if there's a dream, that we should be allowed to dream, because if we don't dream, there's nothing. So moving on to another question, with accordance with the youth plan and the mission 2034, which you have publicly talked about, there were lots of interviews and stuff. But one question from a fan, it's a bit on a different note. So South Korea's player, Heung-min Son, that was the only player who's playing in the Premier League, and that has inspired a generation of other footballers to come in and to actually help South Korea attain the 37th position ranking in world football right now. So suddenly, there are a lot of Indian Europeans with with dual nationalities playing in other clubs. I know you talked about how there's no point in playing for I League because you don't get any promotion to the ISL till 2025 or 2023. Beg your pardon. Suddenly, I League ISL aside, let's get this question right: that will someone of a stature of a human son from India play in a Premier League or in European or in any top European 5 leagues? Would that be able to inspire a certain Indian generation as well as Indian investors as well as quote unquote owners to actually start developing on the grassroots model that you have so publicized about?
Bhai, we just require one. See, it happened with the NBA with China when that Chinese guy went and played in the NBA.
Yes.
It happened with him. Same thing. See, when you have especially a country of 1.34 billion people, you should just bloody play an Indian. If I was a foreign club, I would just play him because when Ronaldo went to Juventus, he doubled their Instagram followers in one day.
Absolutely.
Actually tripled or 4 times, yeah. And they got back the money in just shirt sales. Same way you get an Indian, you will get back your money in shirt sales. It's a just, so I mean, it doesn't have to be good enough. But, so what happens with Indians is problem kya hai? Suno. Problem ye hai कि वहाँ पे laws हैं, especially in Europe. See, we don't care about Asia. We don't even try for Asian countries. And that's what we should be trying for. Or we should be trying for South American countries. Or we should be trying to play in South American leagues or even African leagues. I'll tell you why we can't go to Europe. Because वहाँ पे apparently you need to be an international #1 and you need to be, your ranking of your country needs to be below 70. So we are stuck there. Work visa nahi milta and only amateurs can go. And amateurs will never go, our professionals will never go as amateurs.
And especially after Brexit, that complicated the whole thing.
Yes. The whole thing is back to square one again. Pehle thoda theek ho raha tha, it's back to square one. Now, how do we get there? See, I'll tell you, why is Belgium world #1? Belgium is world #1 because, not because their league is great. Nobody knows Anderlecht and Braga and all those, nobody knows them, okay? The league is #1 because their national team players or the top 20 players play in the top European leagues, in the top clubs. All the Belgium good players are in the top clubs, from Hazard to earlier, everybody, man. You name them, they're Lukaku se lekar, everybody is
Lukaku's.
Yeah, but again, there's Gad, everybody's at Adderweil, everybody's in top clubs. So they are playing top level football every day. So when they get together, they're unbeatable. That's why they were #1. Now, China tried the opposite way. They invested the billions of dollars in fact, they invested more money than the total European transfer fee in just one season in China. What did they do next season? They drew with India. Ye halat thi unki, after investing so much money in top heavy. And Belgium did it that way. Now, how does India get? So India can't do it the senior way. That means today, if Nong scores 50 goals in the ISL, or even Sunil Chetri scores 100 goals in the ISL, he'll still not be taken by a European Manchester United or a Barcelona. Never. Doesn't matter. Why? Because nahi possible hai and nahi lega wo. But the aim is that to get Indians there in their academies. How do you do that? That's at a young age. So my aim is that this World Cup batch which I have, they from the age of 12 every single year till the age of 15 go and play against academies, world-class academies, which is not difficult to arrange. And it's not the end of the world for those academies. They'll play against Indian clubs also. So take them to a tour of England, make them play against all the academies there. Take them to a tour of France and then Portugal and Spain. Now,
like
if my
academy had a tour of UAE, I was just seeing.
So yeah, forget UAE ना, वहाँ पे कोई फायदा नहीं है. अब देखो क्या होएगा. अब अगर suppose मेरा एक लड़का है, just giving you an example, he's a very good striker. Now that boy is never going to think that he's playing against Barcelona because he's been brought up from 5, 6, 7, 8, and now my 5, 7 years are playing against people who are 18, 19, and 15 every day. I make them play, and they're doing really well. So when they play against, वो डर नहीं है उनको कि वो Barcelona के साथ खेल रहा हूँ. Suppose he scores against Barcelona or he scores against 2 Spanish clubs. Next day he goes and scores 2 Portuguese clubs. Next day he goes and scores against PSG Academy and Man U Academy. Those academies will pick him up.
Right.
There's no law. The academies can pick him up. Yes, I will not get any money because under 15 you can't make any money from players. Okay, I will not get any money. But if suppose 10 Indians or 20 Indians are playing in academies by the age of 15, the chances of them making it to the top European leagues are very, very high. And once we have 10 Indians, 20 Indians playing in the top leagues of the world, India will qualify for the World Cup. So the aim is never to win. See, people think I'm doing this so that, I can keep on winning I-League titles. Man, I won them all. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I won them all. I won the 13, 15, 18. I won under 15 4 times in a row. Is saal hua nahi. I won them all in a row. So I don't need to prove that. So I don't believe titles are legacy. I believe legacy will be getting not only India to the World Cup, but winning it. Ye baat hui na? That should be your dream. We keep on saying that, in our lifetime, we should see India in the World Cup. It's going to happen. It's going to happen with these boys, which I have right now, currently there. Yesterday, I've come back, by the way, from, I was in Guwahati. Guwahati mein final trials ho rahe the for the World Cup batch for Assam, which had stopped because of COVID. Now we went back, went to every district of Assam. And then tomorrow we're going to Gangtok, and then we're going to Sikkim. Then we're going to Kalimpong, Darjeeling, Jaigaon. Places people have not even heard of earlier. In 24th North Parganas in Bengal, people be going there because people don't go there because it's so far away. Whereas there's so many footballers who come from that area and you're not giving them an opportunity. So we went and selected these boys, and in the next 3 years, from the ages from 5 to 10, every day, morning, evening, they'll be playing football, but they'll be studying in a proper boarding school, convent educated. So difference kya hoega? Agar 15 saal ki umar tak they'll make as footballers, yes. They don't make it as footballers. When they get out, they'll be equal to any high school educated boy. So their lives would have been made. So yehi problem hoti thi hamari. Why parents don't get footballers into this is because either they become footballers or they do labor on the ground. Because either you make it or you're fucked. Here, you make it, doesn't matter. You don't make it. There's so many other careers you can do because you are equal to a Doon school or Sanar school educated boy. Why? Because that's what our education standard is in Minerva. Because it's an in-house school. And we are doing this so that we can, because I got inspiration from Iceland. तो अगर वो 3 लाख की पॉपुलेशन में से मतलब 3000 प्रोफेशनल फुटबॉलर्स में से टीम बना सकते हैं, तो मेरे पास 3000 से ज्यादा है. I can myself personally access at least 2 crore people if I go to different states. So what do you need? You need dedicated coaches. So yes, I will not have any personal glory for the next 10 years. That means I will not be winning I-League junior titles and I will not be winning anything. No problem. No problem at all. Because after that, we'll be in the World Cup. So now FSDL doesn't realize that for their bloody league to be more valuable, India's value has to go up as a footballing nation. Right. Ranking. If we are in the top 5 leagues of the world or top 10 leagues of the world, quality-wise, then imagine how much money FSDL will make. And that can only happen if they start investing in the youth, in the grassroots. And that can only happen if we produce coaches. Now, coaches are not being produced. Why? Because it's so expensive. It's so goddamn expensive to take A license. It costs 2 lakh rupees. B license, 1 lakh rupees. How many people in India can afford to not get a B license? Give an exam for a B license. You might just fail. How many people in India who want to become coaches can afford to just give an exam for 1 lakh? IIT वाले नहीं है, तुम क्या कोचिंग की बातें कर रहे हो? कोच बनने के लिए कौन 1 लाख रुपए देता है? इसीलिए कितने कोच है हमारे पास बी लाइसेंस इंडिया में? 300. एक्टिव कितने उनमें से? 150. 150. बेल्जियम के पास कितने बी लाइसेंस कोच हैं? 6000. जापान 20-30,000. जापान का क्या प्लान था कि हम 2050 में जाके वर्ल्ड कप जीतेंगे. कब बनाया था? 2000 में. 50 साल प्लान. मिस्टर प्रफुल्ल पटेल का प्लान 2012 में क्या था कि हम 14 में पहुंचेंगे. 14 में था कि 18 में पहुंचेंगे. 18 में था कि 22 में पहुंचेंगे. ये प्लान है इनका. कैसे पहुंचेंगे? I mean, come on. It's just, you are doing some, you can, I wish I had this. I don't want to be charged of AIFF. I want to be charged of the youth development. I mean, if I can do that with the kind of power and the reach they have, we'll be in the World Cup. But even that will take 15 years. Even I don't have, unless they start, they will never reach. And you have to start with the age of 5, 6, 7, 8. Why? Because by the age of 13, you know whether you're going to be Premier League standard or not. By 16, you are already in the Premier League, maximum 17. You can see all the Sadio Manes and the Vinicius Juniors and all the people who are coming in, they're coming in at 17, 18, 19, and it will keep on getting lesser and lesser. So, and this is not a problem here. This is a problem even in the entire Asia. So in AFC, I hold the record for the youngest ever goal scorer and the youngest ever player to play. So that was Toiba. When he was 15, he played, and in 15 he scored. Why? Because somebody played a 15-year-old. It's not because Minerva is great or I'm great. Nobody trusted somebody who's 50. I trusted Anirudh Thapa. Even Chennai didn't trust him then. They sent him to me on loan to get game time. I trusted him, and he became the youngest ever goal scorer for Minerva in the I-League. And then in the same match, Bodo, who was 16, then he scored and beat that record because somebody played them. See, unless you play 15, 16-year-olds and give them power, if they are good, they will serve you for 20 years. Yes, they are not ready at that time, but they will grow much faster than when you play a 28-year-old man. We need to trust our youth. We need to trust our Indian coaches. We need to trust our way, not just follow everything which is being done in other countries, because everything is not the same here. So the 5 things they actually talk about when they say that Indians, cannot reach the World Cup, one is money. So Brazil didn't have any money. They are the best. Okay, they're the poorest country, more poor than us also. So forget about money. Not enough people are playing football in India. That's also bullshit. See the population of the country, and I've told you about Iceland. Then they talk about genes. Our genes are good enough to get medals in wrestling or weightlifting or in boxing in Asian Games or Commonwealth Games against Koreans and Iranians who play in the World Cup. Then we're good enough to play in the World Cup. We're not good in team games. Yes, we are. We are very good in hockey. Why? Hockey mein kisko beat karte hain? Holland. We beat Korea. We beat Germany. We beat Australia. We beat Japan. We beat Belgium. These are the countries which do well in football. Are the same countries which do well in hockey. Note the countries which do well in hockey. Same who do well in football. Except India is missing in that one. Why? Because the guys who are in charge. And now what is happening? You will not be. What is that they done? AFF wrote to the FSDL. The assholes at FSDL. Now I want to say. Why? They said to them, please play 4 foreigners. Because you're harming the development of Indian football. They keep on saying football sports development. They're not developing Indian football. They're making it worse. They're playing 7 foreigners. Now, if I was a coach, my job depends on the results. Okay? So if I have a choice to play 2 foreign strikers, 1 Indian and 1 foreigner, obviously I'll play 2 foreign strikers. Man, there's nothing to think about. So, how is the next Sunil Chhetri going to come? When is the next Sunil Chhetri? When is the next? You don't give him game time. How are you going to get the next Sunil Chhetri? Sunil Chhetri, in all the Indian clubs he's played, ever, he's been played all 90 minutes. Yes. Since the beginning. So, that's why he's been becoming what he's become like. Manveer Singh was shit till last year because he didn't get game time. He's getting game time now, he's improving. It's all about game time. Look at the guys like Rahul KP coming in and Liston Colasso coming in. They're showing you that we have it in us, man. We can score against anyone. We just need to believe in these boys. Hyderabad.
Where they came from.
Yes, and an endless supply. But we need to support them. We need to support the youngsters. We need to have it in every team that you have to play at least 2 boys under 21 for the entire 90 minutes. And we need to, or probably even make it less, under 18. So just see how much you develop, because each team will have at least 4 or 5 under 18s, because they'll have to have 20% of the team as that. And because of that, they'll have to have an academy. So when you say developmental player, they say under 22. Not developmental, developed by you. It should have been developed by your academy. You can't, if you give a choice to any rich guy, should I develop my own? नहीं यार मैं खरीद लूंगा जाके मिनर्वा से 25-30 लाख देके. क्या कौन academy खोलेगा? And that's what they do. And see, I'm screwing up my own business model. I should be very happy कि मेरे से खरीदते. But there has to be 100 Ranjit Bajaj or 100 Minervas. Then we'll be successful. Not one. First, earlier there was Tata Football Academy. And in fact, that should have become huge. It's become 0. Why? Because all the money has gone into Jamshedpur FC. That was the only holy grail we had, man. It's finished. Now Minerva is there. Now Minerva ki jagah ek aur aa jaye baad mein, when we shut, I hope we never, but I mean, this can't be 1-1-1. It has to be every club has to be doing this. And if they don't do it by will, they have to be forced. And if they don't understand how to do it, tell them to come to me. I will tell them how to run an academy in profit. How? You have to make sure your players are so good. If you say na ke meri agle saal, in next month I will not have money to give my salaries unless these players are that good. You will make sure those players are that good. Because my next year I'll have to take a loan otherwise, man. If I'm not able to sell these players. But these guys don't think like that. They think in a very different way. Short-term gains. In football, you cannot have short-term gains. I'm talking about as a team and world standard.
Right.
That's why even if you want to prepare for a tournament, you require 2 months to prepare for a tournament pre-season, man.
Shocking, really. All the news and all the podcasts that I've been hearing you, it's on the same veins. Like, people have this image of you that there's going to be controversy, but whenever I see Mr. Ranjit Bajaj speaking, he has no fear for himself, number one. He has no fear for the world. All he wants is two things: youth development grassroots and Mission 2034. So I hope all the ones that are in charge might see this new channel and actually think that these things. And on that contrary, I'll bring just a last question on that. Is you have seen, Ranjit sir, you have seen that the likes of Manchester City, the likes of Borussia Dortmund, and very recently, Sevilla, Europa League winner Sevilla, has invested in Bengaluru FC, in the it's in the lower division of the Indian football, and that's a very good testament.
Bangalore United, yes.
Yes, and that's a very good testament to the fact that they're not looking at ISL clubs, but also below that. And in spite of that, we are not.
Why? They are intelligent. Now see, if they are invested in, why has Man City invested there? Because unke paise bahut hai yaar. They own the bloody world. They're like the Ambanis of the world. I mean, they own the world. They're doing that in everything. Now look at Basel. They went to Chennai.
Yes.
They put money there because they knew that this club has big ambitions and they can get there. And जितने का हम इनके परसेंटेज खरीदेंगे ना, वो 1 साल की फ्रेंचाइज फीस देनी पड़ेगी ISL में. 3 साल के बाद पहुंच जाएंगे. वैसे भी कोई पैसे नहीं बन रहे अभी ISL वालों के. 5 साल के बाद पहुंच जाएंगे, but पहुंच जाएंगे. Same way with Bangalore United, because they saw the owners, they are so serious about what they are doing. They're investing so much of money. They're doing good stuff. Good club to be in. So, they understand that instead of, even European clubs, that unless there's promotion relegation, there's not going to be a proper league. When there is promotion relegation, then we'll spend the money and we'll get there. Because the amount of money we'll spend to get 4 players to get promoted will still be 10 times less than what we'll have to spend for those 4 years directly as franchise fees. See, if the money was all going to, if they suppose tomorrow ISL becomes huge, which it will, I'm talking not ISL, whatever the top league of the countries, it will become very big, like China. It will become very big, money will be very big, everything will be very big. If all that money goes into Indian football back again, let Ambani own it, let anyone own it, doesn't matter. But if that money goes to a private pocket, then Indian football will never develop, because again, it will never coming back. It's never going to be coming back to the grassroots. We need that money from the top reaching the grassroots. And they have not come up with any concrete plan what they're going to do with the state leagues. See, for coaching, for example, when I keep on talking about coaches, they don't have to do it. I did it. I told them, okay, and it's not AIFF's fault. AIFF should be pushed by FSDL. It is totally FSDL's code. They should be pushed by FSDL to make coaching licenses so cheap and not earn money. AIFF is, because they don't have enough money, they're trying to earn money through coaching licenses. Now, I have made coaching licenses so cheap where people are spending 30,000 to get a D license. They can get it at 10,000 at Minerva. Same with C license, I'm making it 1/3 the cost with the B, and same with the A. If we have 100 more coaches every year or 1,000 more coaches a year, imagine. The point is, Belgium with 5,000 coaches, their physical education teacher in every school is also a B license man. So the basics they are taught to any kid are correct. And that's what we need. We need good coaches. Only then we can have good development. So it's a cycle. When you see develop the grassroots, it's not only the players, it's the coach, even the referees. हम रेफरियों को गालियां देते रहते हैं, बहुत देते हैं, मैं भी देता हूं. But we have never developed them. No money has been spent to developing them. What do we do? Same with are operations or analysts. We don't have any courses for analysts. We don't even think of it. Or for a physiotherapist specializing in football. Nobody. The entire ecosystem has to be done. Social media, guys. We're just learning from each other. That's it. Not from any proper course. Exactly.
The fact that even when I ventured out into, because I'm very much interested with analysis, because I do a lot of analysis, even I started with ISL clubs, but it panned out a bit because of the ongoing conflicts with Mohan Bagan. I stopped doing the ISL show for the moment. I do every United podcast, United pre-match podcast, analyzing the teams. But whenever I wanted to get a degree on that, and as you said, it's not readily available. It's very difficult to obtain.
Let's give you some more good news. So you'll hear very soon that Minerva is coming up with a course in for analysts. It's going to be a 15-day course, and it will end with a certification by a world-class analysis body. I'm not going to name them right now. And it is currently being used by every ISL and I-League team, the same analysis software. So we're going to be doing that in partnership with them, and we'll be the only ones in India doing it. And again, it will be very, very affordable, because after that certification, a guaranteed a job of an analyst compared to any analyst. If you have that certification, you'll get it like this.
That's music to my ears. And since I'm in touch with you, let's hope that I can get some more infos about that, and I'll let my viewers know who are interested, who do follow me on a daily basis with regards to those analysis. And let's see, because the Indian football standard, my whole agenda today was talking about with the respects of Indian football, and whatever the insights that you have given in almost an hour. We had planned for 45 minutes. It's almost an hour. You're so passionate about that. And no, as the title said, no holds barred. So I'll just run down through the comments. Just see, you can get both Innovation Hub.
Yeah, Baka Innovation Hub is really great, man. In fact, Kumar Reddy is right, because I was seeing this documentary, Take the Ball, Pass the Ball, Take the Ball, Pass the Ball, by everyone should see it. It's a great documentary. They show with the players there how they have this machine where they have these lights coming on and you're supposed to pass in them. So I was thinking of doing something they see here, the same thing, except instead of those lights coming on, we have bulbs and we just put the bulb on from there with a button. So instead of spending millions, we have the Indian Jugaad system coming on.
That's what makes us Indian. Like if there's a resource, we know how to use it without national.
So to make goals, we need 4 पत्थर. और हम सबने पत्थर मार या जूते निकाल के हम सबने गोल बना के फुटबॉल खेला हुआ है भाई. किसी को
bottles at school.
Anything we didn't require 2 things. That's what India is about. ये हमारा advantage है. So we have to use this. We have to use this to get ahead.
Whatever the resource is. So Mr. RANJIT Bajaj is always full of surprises. So just before we end the show, I know that I have requested you all to hit that subscribe button multiple of times. So we are nearly to 500. Let's see. My initial dream was to make something for Indian football, and I have got my mentor today in Mr. RANJIT Bajaj. So what the word is, so to the point. Like I've done podcasts with multiple people, and many people are afraid to say what's going on behind the scenes because of their professional obligations, because of they don't want to be in trouble. But someone like your stature, you don't care about anything. You just care about the development of football, and that inspires me. Truly inspires me.
क्योंकि मुझे दर्द होती है when India loses. And if you are there as a fan, I'm just like any one of you, man. और जिसको दर्द नहीं होती when India loses or does badly, I don't consider him a good official or a football fan. So दर्द होती है, इसीलिए बाहर आता है.
Absolutely, words, and to something to remember. So that's pretty much about it, guys. Thank you, Ranjit sir, for sparing your time and I was just flabbergasted when you just DM'd me on Twitter and I got this opportunity. And trust me, if you talk to I was talking to a few of my friends and how on cloud 9 I was, and this has been a really an eye opener for all those who have watched, an insight for me. And I hope we can do this another time very soon if you're free.
My brother, it'll be my pleasure. I don't know how the time has just flown by. You say it's 1 hour. It doesn't seem like that. So it's been great. And it's always awesome talking to a Marina as well. And next time, probably we can do a show about tactics and we can actually discuss some of that. It'll be great. what we kind of use in the I League and what's happening in the ISL and what India's level is there. So it can be great. And you have a lot of analysts, followers. So I like to get into a lot of things which I did the Moneyball style to actually win the I League. That was all Moneyball style. So it was great.
That's what the newspaper headlines read.
So I really hope in the next 2 months you're up to 5,000. Then it will be a success.
It's just 500 now with your blessings. Let's hope we can get to that figure. But meanwhile, Manchester United versus Arsenal is in around half an hour. Let's hope we all catch it. Let's hope it's a good match. Final words from Mr. Ranjit Bajaj?
Final words, keep believing. We will get there. And when I talk about we means India is going to get there. And not only we're going to get there, we're going to smash the world. Just have patience and keep supporting Minerva, because we are not living our dream anymore. We've stopped living our own dream. We are now living our country's dream. And we're going to make sure it comes true.
Absolutely. The patriotism is high, the Josh is high, and we make sure to campaign for India, because that's what matters the most at this point of time. Mission 2034. With that, ending this show on a high. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks again, Ranjit sir, for your time. Let's meet again very, very soon. With that, this is your boy Neil on Netflix Football, bidding you goodbye. Let's have a good game of United versus Arsenal. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Jai Hind, guys. Good night.
Jai Hind.